What's going on, duelists? It's your boy Nick, bringing you today an update to my RAGNARAIKA Beetrooper deck profile for the post Legacy of Destruction format. For those of you new to the channel, welcome. My name is Nick. We do Yu-Gi-Oh content mainly focused around rogue and casual decks alike. If that's the kind of Yu-Gi-Oh content that you're interested in, then I highly encourage for you to subscribe to the channel. We just passed our 1,500 subscriber goal, and we are now working our way to our 2,000 subscriber goal, and I need your help to get there. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and trust me, you do not want to miss out on the absolute amazing deck profiles that I have coming to the channel, along with combos and test hands. Now, RAGNARAIKA is a brand new theme out of Legacy of Destruction. I actually posted a profile for this deck about maybe 2 weeks ago now, and it's done really well on the channel. I'm so thankful for everybody that has stopped to watch that video and share it and comment on it. However, I've been doing testing with my RAGNARAIKA Beetrooper deck list, and I've optimized the list. Not only have I found a way to increase the deck's consistency, but I also was able to increase the deck's non-engine slots as well to further assist with the deck's problem of going second. So, without further ado, I don't want to waste too much time in the intro. We're going to dive in to this profile. I will link the original profile in the description down below if you guys do want to see, what the changes were. I'm not going to be going into too much detail with this deck list. This is going to be just more of a quick update kind of video. Since I went pretty in-depth on the first profile, I'm mainly only going to be stopping to talk about the cards that I added. So we're going to breeze through this, okay? So hopefully you guys enjoy the profile. So you know how we do here on the channel. We're going to be starting with the monster lineup, of course. We have one copy of Beargrim, Shelled Emperor of the Forest Crown. Those of you that watch Teemo's Matsika series should know what this card is and how it works. But basically, it's the deck's boss monster. Banish 3 and 6 plants, special it from the hand or grave. It can nuke the board. It's just a big beat stick, very cool insect boss monster for the theme. We also play one copy of a Heavy Beetrooper Mighty Neptune. Again, another amazing insect monster. You can help you shuffle back your banished insects to special itself, and also during each end phase, you can target another insect and make it gain 1,000 attack. Very cool here, searchable through the resonance insects, which we do play. We do have one copy of Doomdozer. Mainly here is just an extender of sorts, banish 2 insects to special it. Very amazing card. And then we also play the one Sting Lancer in the main deck, which can not only double as a hand trap, but also gets you access to the Beetrooper spells and traps, which are all very powerful. So one copy of Sting Lancer is all you need. Then we do play one copy of Scary Moth in the main board. Generally, if we know we're going to go second, we'll side this out. But this card is really cool. It's just like El Shaddai Winda on legs. While it's on the field, each player can only special summon once per turn, which is obviously really crazy. So we just play one of this in the main board. Then we also have a playset of Resonance Insects. Actually upgraded them to super rares from the OTS tournament pack. I think OTS 17, if I'm not mistaken. So very cool here. This card is the bread and butter of this deck. Not once per turn. Allows you to search your high-leveled insects, and also Foolish Burial any insects from deck to grave as well. Really insane card, and the RAGNARAIKA package helps abuse this very easily, so we max out on that. Now for the new normal summon that we played. Previously we were on a Battle Wasp Sting the Poison and 2 Battle Wasp Pin the Bullseyes. However, I cut those cards in favor of 3 copies of Dragon Bite. This is a dark level 4 insect tuner with 1,000 attack and defense, and it states when this card is normal summoned, you can special a level 4 or lower insect from your hand. So this card is an amazing normal summon in my opinion, simply because it works with any insect. So as long as you have Dragon Bite and any other bug that's level 4 or lower, you can just commit the normal summon a Dragon Bite, trigger Dragon Bite to just get an extender out of your hand basically, or just anything really. It doesn't even have to be an extender, but just get another insect out of your hand. And it makes it function like a pseudo extender of sorts, and then allow you to go into link plays, synchro plays even. In addition to that, Dragon Bite has a really cool effect where you can banish a level 4 or lower insect from the hand, graveyard, or face-up field, and then target a face-up monster you control to increase its level by the level of the banished monster. Now, that's more if you're going to do like level modulation for synchro climbing, but this deck is more link focused. I just like the fact that you can use Dragon Bite to banish like a resonance that's stuck in the graveyard for some reason, or even out of your hand, which is also really cool. But so I think Dragon Bite's a very good normal summon for this deck, and it's kind of future-proofing this list because, as we already know, in the next core set, Infinite Forbidden, we're already revealed to have new new RAGNARAIKA support coming out in that set in the form of a new main deck monster and a new Link 3. And the main deck monster happens to be a level 4 insect, which means Dragon Bite actually gets better post Infinite Forbidden. So again, a really amazing card. And it's because it's level 4, it's also searchable through Gokapole when we do send it to grave, which is something that we couldn't do with Sting the Poison previously because it was level 2. Plus, Sting the Poison was good. I'm not saying that the card was bad. The problem that I had with it was that if I already had a Pin the Bullseye in my hand, Sting the Poison could only search another pin because that was the only other Battle Wasp that I was playing. So it felt kind of redundant and not that optimal in my opinion. Whereas Dragon Bite's a lot more, I would say, generic in the sense that he can just take any other bug in hand and special it for free. Can easily combo off pretty hard with this. So Dragon Bite is our new normal summon of choice. And like I said, it gets even better post Infinite Forbidden when we do get the new RAGNARAIKA level 4 Beetle waifu chick. Her name escapes me right now. But anyway, moving on. We have 2 copies of Beetrooper Scout Buggy. Again, another amazing monster to not only as a starter, but also can be used as an extender. And then we have 2 copies of Scale Bomber as well. Again, another amazing insect extender for this deck. So 2 and 2 has been a pretty good ratio so far on those monsters. Then, a change from the previous list. We were playing 1 Gokapole. I bumped it up to 2. Just because Gokapole is so amazing and you can combo so hard with it. As long as it's sent to the grave from anywhere, it lets you add a level 4 insect monster from deck to hand. It has an additional benefit if that level 4 insect you added was a normal monster, but we don't utilize this card for that because we don't play any vanillas. So 2 copies of Gokapole is really insane in this deck list. Then we move on with 1 copy of Beetrooper Assault Roller, followed by 1 copy of Praying Mantis, another searchable extender for this deck, and then Praying Mantis being a great card that you can actually send to the graveyard with something like Resonance Insect and then be able to banish it from there to get free tokens and more bodies on the field to link climb with. So now we move into the RAGNARAIKAs themselves, of which we do play 3 copies of RAGNARAIKA the Evil Seed, an amazing starter / extender for this deck, allowing you to discard any plant, reptile, or insect from your hand to special itself. Then upon normal or special summon, he allows you to search for 2 RAGNARAIKA cards that are either in your deck or that are banished with different names, and then you get to banish a card from your hand. So really crazy card to combo off with. You definitely want to max out for any RAGNARAIKA variant that you choose to play. Then we do play 1 copy of Samurai Beetle, followed by the 1 Armored Lizard. Both really amazing extenders for this deck. I found that the ratios 1 and 1 for each is perfectly fine in testing. I have no issues with either of these 2 cards. Samurai Beetle, just insane. Not only is it a level 3 insect, but it can special itself from hand by placing one of your banished insects, plants, or reptiles that are banished on the bottom of the deck to then special this card. And then if this card is sent to the grave for the link summon of a RAGNARAIKA link monster, he can target any level 4 or lower insect, plant, or reptile in grave and special summon it back to the field. So very crazy. And then Armored Lizard isn't the greatest. To be fair, I think post Infinite Forbidden, once we do get the level 4 insect beetle waifu RAGNARAIKA monster, I'll be cutting this for her, and maybe this card finds its way in the sideboard. Because when you're going first, it doesn't really do much outside of being just a generic extender by banishing an insect, plant, or reptile. You can special this from hand, but it has an effect to bounce an opponent's monster during your turn, but it's not a quick effect. So if you're going first, it doesn't really offer you much value outside of, again, just being a mediocre extender. So post-info, again, this card might find its way in the side deck just because it's better when going second for it to use for its disruption-like effect. And then we'll definitely be adding the new level 4 insect RAGNARAIKA beetle waifu lady when she comes out in that set. So 1 and 1 has been fine so far. Then we also played 2 copies of Retaliating Sea, down from the 3 from the previous deck list. We do side the 3rd, spoiler alert. But this card is really nice. It's a great hand trap against certain decks, but not every deck, because not every deck plays into this, which is why I cut it down to 2 of. But it's still important to main deck because it is kind of a combo piece. When it is sent from the field to the graveyard, it allows you to search for an insect with 1500 or less attack from deck to hand, which covers a lot of stuff, and it can even search you out resonance insects and whatnot. So we do still play 2 in the main, and then we side the 3rd now. Then moving on to our other hand traps, we do play 3 copies of Ash, pretty self-explanatory there, very generic catch-all for the format. And that rounds out the monster lineup. I will want to mention that the deck list has not changed count-wise. It's still 42 cards from the previous list, but now we're going to move into the spells, of which we do play 3 RAGNARAIKA Bloom. Again, another starter for this deck in the sense that it's a Rhoda for your RAGNARAIKA Evil Seed, while also reviving any RAGNARAIKAs that are banished or in your hand or graveyard to the field and defense position, which is really, really strong. So max out on this. Not only does it make all of your insects, plants, and reptiles stronger, but it also makes all other monsters on the field weaker, which is really insane. Then we play the one Beetrooper formation, amazing field spell, just offers really good recovery and recursion. One Beetrooper landing, the fusion spell for the Beetrooper theme. One giant ball game, again, another really insane card to special summon level 6 or lower insects from grave. Then one instant fusion, and then to round out the last spell in the main, we do play one Call to the Grave just to stop any annoying hand traps our opponent might try to throw our way. So that rounds out the spell lineup. Now moving into the traps. Newly added to the deck list is 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. This is our newest hand trap we are playing. Not only does it give the deck more non-engine, but Imperm this format just goes so hard. It's a great card, and because we now play more normal traps in the deck, it actually allows us to play something special in the extra deck, which I'll talk more about once we get there. So 3 Imperm in the main board is perfect. And then to round out the last 2 cards in the main is one RAGNARAIKA Hunting Dance, the new archetypal trap, followed by one Beetrooper Fly and Sting Monster Negate on a counter trap, which is obviously very strong. So that rounds out the main deck. Now we're going to be diving headfirst into the extra deck. Again, a couple changes were made to the extra deck as well. We still play the one copy of Beetrooper Cruel Saturnus, amazing instant fusion target to summon. On summon, it lets you add any Beetrooper card from the deck to your hand, and also allows you to special summon back banished Beetrooper monsters, which is obviously really insane. So one copy of Cruel Saturnus. We are still choosing to play the one Ultra Beetrooper Absolute Hercules. There are actual combos that get you to this card, because now you just have so much free link material, and just like, not only free link material, but just free bodies to extend with. You actually can make this easier now than you've ever had to do before. So we still play this as a one-of. You know, maybe in the future if we get something else, I might cut this. But so far, I have been able to summon this, and because it's just a big 4K unaffected insect, it's pretty difficult for your opponent to try to deal with. So I still see value in it. Now, newly added to the extra deck, because we played Dragon Bite as the deck's new normal summon, we are able to play Dioblantis the Menacing Mantis as our Synchro 8 of choice, requiring just a tuner and a non-tuner as material. If this card is Synchro summoned, you can send an insect and or plant monsters from your deck to grave up to the number of non-tuners used for this card's Synchro summon. So basically, it's a Foolish Burial for any insect or plant, which is really, really strong. It does have an additional effect that allows you to... if you control this card, you can target an insect or plant that you control, treat it as a tuner until the end of this turn. However, again, that's more if you're playing on Synchro climbing. This is the only Synchro we have in our extra deck, so that effect seldom comes up, but really amazing new addition to the extra deck. Then we still play the one number 3 Cicada King, obviously. Card's just insane, being a free monster negate and revival for your insects from grave. We still have the 2 Pico Felina in the extra deck, really amazing card. We cut down the Armor Horn to 1, simply so we can make space for a Shinobi Insect Hakagurimino. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name. We decided to add this in because, unfortunately, out of excluding the RAGNARAIKA Link 2, all the Link 2s that we play specifically required insects as material, and there were times where I needed to make a Link 2, but I didn't have strictly insects on board. So this card is generic, it just requires 2 monsters with different names. So this is why we added it into the extra deck, and so far it's been working out really, really well as far as the ratios go. Pico Felina is nice at 2 still because of her recursion-like effect, but the Armor Horn has actually been working just fine as a one-of so far in testing. Now to the RAGNARAIKAs. We do play one of the RAGNARAIKA Skeletal Soldier. Again, really insane Link 2, kind of like a worse version of Sprite Elf. Basically, on your turn, you can target a RAGNARAIKA in your grave and special summon it, and then has the RAGNARAIKA Link Grave effect where you can target any insect, plant, or reptile on the field, place it on the bottom of the deck to revive themselves, which is pretty cool. Then newly added to the extra deck is 1 copy of Traptrix Adipus. This is a brand new Traptrix monster that came in the Traptrix structure, I believe last year, if I'm not mistaken. However, it's a Link 3 insect with generic material, just requiring 2+ monsters, including an insect or a plant. This card, though, is really nuts now that we are mainboarding Infinite Impermanences. Like I said, not only does that give the deck more non-engine slots, but because we play more traps, it enables this card's effect, which reads as follows. This Link Summon card is unaffected by trap effects. Then all Traptrix monsters you control gain 1,000 attack while you have a normal trap in grave. So again, while we have, Imperms in the graveyard, she comes out as a 2,800 Link 3. In addition to that, you can, once per turn, target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of insects and plants you control, negate their effects until the end of this turn, then you can apply this effect, banish a normal trap from your graveyard, and if you do, destroy one of those targeted face-up cards. So she is insanely powerful for going second, allowing you to negate the field or any face-up cards, including back row or field spells, for example. and then you up to the number of insects and plants you control, and then you can banish a normal trap from grave to destroy one of those targeted cards. So really great at board breaking for going second. Definitely so glad I decided to include this after testing the deck list some more. Really great addition. I have no complaints whatsoever. We still have the one Seraphim Papillion, followed by the one RAGNARAIKA Mantis Monk as our link 3s of choice. Mantis Monk being really insane, allowing us to banish 2 insects, plants, and reptiles from grave to search for a RAGNARAIKA trap. And then again has the same RAGNARAIKA Link revival effect by placing a insect, plant, or reptile on the bottom of the deck to special itself. We do have the one Chain Coils as the RAGNARAIKA Link 4. And then we also round out the last link 4 by playing one Giant Beetrooper Invincible Atlas. Really amazing card and extender. Wouldn't replace these cards whatsoever. I think 1-1 is perfect. And then to round out the last card in the extra deck is one copy of the RAGNARAIKA Stag Sovereign that I went ahead and got a great deal on a QCR of, so it looks absolutely stunning. You can see the quarter century watermark there, but this is the deck's new boss monster. Just a crazy link 5. It can destroy monsters on field. And then again has the same graveyard revival effect that all the RAGNARAIKA links have. So really cool boss monster for the deck, and it just absolutely looks amazing. So that's going to round out the extra deck. Now, before we wrap things up, let's burn through the side very quickly. I also made side deck changes. One of the matchups that I did want to address was actually the Tenpai matchup, because I realized that the previous version of this deck had no answers to it at all. And I'm testing this out. It still needs more testing, I feel, but for so far it's been working out okay. We are side decking a playset of Smoke Mosquito. This is a dark level 1 insect that states during damage calculation, if you would take battle damage from an opponent's monster's attack, quick effect, you could special this card from your hand, and if you do, the damage you took becomes halved. Also, end the battle phase after that damage step. Really insane card. So like, if you take damage, you special it, the damage you took is halved, and then the battle phase ends, making the Tenpai matchup much easier. And then you can just link climb with this on the subsequent turn. Really crazy monster, honestly. So I'm testing this out at 3 on the side, and so far it's been working really, really well. And it doesn't have to just be for Tenpai. I mean, any matchup really that tries to OTK you, Smoke Mosquito will come up and just end their battle phase, giving you a subsequent turn to try and crack back, which is nice. We still side deck the 2 other Sting Lancers, making it so we have 1 in the main, 2 on the side. This card's a really cool hand trap, kind of like an insect bestial of sorts. So really cool there to have in the sideboard. We cut down the Kaiju to a 1-of, since it is very searchable through Resonance Insect. And then we have the 1 Retaliating Sea in the side, since we mainboard the 2. And then to round out the rest of the side, we still have the 3 Cosmic Cyclones for the back row hate, followed by the 3 Evenly Matches for going second. Very crazy card this format, especially now that cards like Baron and Savage are banned. And then for the last lineup of cards in the side is 2 copies of RAGNARAIKA Hunting Dance to complete our playset. Again, 1 in the main, 2 in the side. For those matches where we do go first, we can side into more of this and just have more disruption to throw at our opponent on top of our really established end board. So that's going to wrap up my updated deck profile for my RAGNARAIKA Beetrooper list post Legacy of Destruction. Hopefully you guys like the more optimized list. Let me know what your thoughts are below. But with that being said, that's going to wrap up the video. Link in the description for the original deck profile if you want to check that out. But with that being said, this is Nick, hitting that end phase. Peace.